mistakes. I was programmed to beat you. Humans, what have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. Mistakes. I was programmed to beat you. Humans, what have you learned? have you learned?
Hello, and welcome back to FRLT. Yes, I know. We're a little bit late. Yes, we are starting a little bit late today, and I do very much apologise for that. But it is time for round 12 Bahrain, as you can see in the top left corner. Yes, round 12 of season 1. Only 2 races left. This race, and then the finale in the Netherlands. So let's have a quick look through the standings. Let's have a quick look through the standings. Sorry for the music, it was a little bit loud for a minute. So, the standings, FG claimed the title last week and ultimately won it on 288 points after getting P2, and that was all they needed. AMS got their second win of the season. Sorry, their second win of the season so far. And so things are looking up. ABE had another rough race for them to go off of, but AERO also had a bit of an off race on top of that. So quite a few teams also having double DNFs. We had 2 teams double DNFing. That was STR and XPG last week. So it was a bit of a difficult one for a couple of teams. Driver standings. Takubi continues at the top of the standings. He's gained another point this weekend. But his main championship rival, Drastic Blaze, who is in second, is racing this week. And so this week will be very important. But Takubi, he is not racing this week. And so everything could be to gain for Drastic Blaze. The track that we come to is Bahrain Sakir, 15 turns, 5.412 kilometers or 3.362 miles, 3 DRS zones down the pit straight, second straight, and the back straight. As you can see, quite a bit of elevation, especially up towards turn 4 and turn 13. It's a very crazy track, and I'm very excited for this evening. And so we're going to get into it right now. So here we are, we're in right away. I'm just double checking everything's working, so don't mind me. Sorry for the very, very quick entry to today's stream. Hopefully everybody can hear me and everything is good. Please do let me know, because if it isn't, I'll be a bit mortified if it isn't. So, only a couple races left. Only 2 races left of the season. I can't believe it's gone so quickly, because it has generally been an amazing season all round. We've got a couple of new drivers, a couple of old drivers returning. HS Moore returns tonight. On top of drivers, for instance, like YS Brand, he also returns. We also have another driver who's returning tonight, Drastic Blaze. So a couple of drivers returning, a couple of them not returning. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what's going to be happening from here on. Drastic Blaze, of course, is one of them, but Mabo, he's the first driver out. Last week was a strong week for SRA. They ultimately scored 18 points last race with a P5 and a I think it was P6 finish, so it's very good. P5 and P6 from SRA, their best finish altogether, and ultimately most points they've scored all season long. So it's quite interesting to see, to be honest, something like that. Don't mind me, I do apologise. I'm just closing something. I do apologise, that was... I don't know why that showed up on the screen. I do very much apologise. Everything's going a little bit haywire today. So I do very much apologise. PC not wanting to work like it usually does. So for today, the main thing, of course, teams want to get to the end of the championship. There's still a fight for second in the constructors and also for 4th place as well. But the first driver we're going to be seeing on a lap here tonight is Mabo himself. Let's ride on board with the Alpine man. Coming round into the last corner, he's going to have some traffic though. I can see an Aston Martin AlphaTauri. He's going quite wide on the corner, maximising the exit. Now, opening his rear wing with the DRS, heading at over 300 kilometers an hour towards turn 1, as that goes to over 320 kilometers an hour as he actually hits turn 1. 100 meters braking mark. He comes in hard. He takes a lot of the inside curve. Ooh, a little bit of wheel spin there, coming through the left-hander. Oh, and he's had a spin. He's had a spin out of turn 2. And his lap is ultimately aborted for him. But the next man is actually HS Moore. We'll be picking up with him exactly where we just saw Mabo have his spin. But now coming down onto the second straight, again opening DRS. This will be the final time in his lap that he will open DRS for full DRS zone. Now coming through turn 4 to finish off the whole of Sector 1. And he invalidates his lap, quite strangely, but he does invalidate it. So a little bit disappointing there. A couple of drivers struggling. Oh, as HS Moore also has a bit of a spin to finish off his lap. We've got Toast. Yes, we've got great names this week. Toast is added to the list. 28.683. First driver to actually fully complete Sector 1. Now coming through, I believe this is turn 7 it is. So now through turn 7, he's going to come towards turn 8 and 9. Heading downhill into the hairpin. Probably the most difficult corner on this entire track. Toast takes it pretty nicely there. Looked a little bit indecisive maybe on the way that he wanted to take the corner. But now, heading up towards this left-hander. It's just a very nice round 90-degree corner coming round into an open space. He might have a little bit of traffic towards the end of the lap. But coming up through the right-hander, ending off Sector 2. It's not too bad. 1 minute 6.660. So only a couple hundred more meters left of the track. Heading down into the final proper corner, or the final 2 corners. Now heading down, Mabo sets a 1 minute 47.588 as his lap. I guess he is going again. And now coming across the line, it's a 1 minute 28.405 from Toast for the first proper lap of qualifying. And Miguel beats that by ultimately getting a 1 minute 28.278. DeVito can't beat that. He can only do a 1 minute 28.336. We've got a Ferrari coming up to the line. I believe that is YS Brand. That is the Aston Martin man. He goes quickest of all, finding 4.5 tenths in the lap. 1 minute 27.820. Very, very strong from him. I have to say, incredibly strong from YS Brand on his return. We're going to see Rev Rob. He's only going to go P5 with a 1 minute 28.4. Not usual for ABE to have their struggles like this. We can see, I believe that was Rising Moon. He just went P6 and now P7. MS Matthias is P2. By the way, Matthias is now an FGE driver. And so do not be fooled by the AMS name. He is FGE all the way. It's no mistake there. So don't think you're making a mistake thinking he's in the wrong car. Looking around, we got KSN. KSN goes 11th, slower than his teammate by about 3 seconds. Looked like he had a bit of a battle as well while he was at it. We've got Drastic Blaze. Drastic Blaze, only with a 1 minute 28.868 and currently sitting 10th. So a rather rough first lap for him. Got Frederick Winther on his lap for AERO in that beautiful Alfa Romeo level, which I can't lie, looks very beautiful under these lights here tonight. Generally, it does look amazing. Coming now round the right-hander, coming through another right-hander, double right-hander there. The second one gets a little bit tighter. Now, coming up towards the final corner, what can Frederick Winther do? Round the final corner, maximising his exit on the curve. Very good there from the AERO driver. And up to the line, he's going to go P6. 1 minute 28.326 for his lap time. I'm not sure if we've got another car on a lap. No, we don't. I don't believe we do. Unless we look to Sarpoli, who's just finished off the first sector. Moore's on an outlap. But Sarpoli, I believe, is the only driver who is currently on a flying lap at the moment. So let's watch him as he goes round. So far, looking not too bad on his lap. Definitely taking the hairpin a little bit wide. Only a little bit wide. I can't complain massively about taking it a little bit wide. So far, we'll have to see how the rest is going to go. Still a while to go left in this session, of course. 10.5 minutes left. A couple of drivers invalidating, a couple of drivers struggling on their laps so far. We just got to pray and hope things will come together a little bit later on for some of these drivers. Across the line, Sarpoli goes P5. Half a second, about 4.5 tenths down on his teammate. It's not looking great for the AMS man. Only 5th place at the moment. So we now look to who is next on a lap. I believe it might be HS Moore. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. That's a Mercedes. I believe that was Toast. HS Moore is on a lap. And see what he does. It's not a good middle sector. It's actually quite slow middle sector at the moment. He would currently sit 15th in the grid if this is where his middle sector is sitting. So he's not looking very good. Only to be ahead, I believe, of KSN and Mabo will he sit. So only P15. So it's not looking good for him. And he does only go P15, 30.2. Bit of a struggle on his lap there. His teammate David Shiki is now on a run. Let's see if he can put in a good lap here, or if he can or if he can't. This is the big question. We're all hoping he can, because don't get me wrong, he is a very good driver. And so up to the line. Let's see, through the first sector up to the line of the first sector. He's going to come round. And what's it looking like? It's actually not looking too bad. Really isn't looking too bad from David Shiki. He currently he's putting in a pretty clean lap. I have to say, it is a pretty clean lap from him. Don't think he needs to do much more. Now heading up towards the next left-hander. See what he can do. Very nice through there. Once again, David Shiki looking very, very nice on his lap so far. Coming round the right-hander. Very nice to start off sector 3 and almost finish his lap with only 2 corners left. Let's see what he can do when he actually comes round to the final corners. He comes around right now. He's coming around. He's got some good pace. Definitely not on for pole. No, he won't be on for pole. It's only going to be enough for 29.4 and sit P14, P15 now in the grid. As Mabo just went up to P13. We've got an Aston Martin of Matthias going round. Not sure actually who was just going round. I think we might know that's an outlap. Rev Rob's on an outlap. Lots of drivers on outlaps at the moment. I think we've got a Mercedes driver coming round on an outlap as well. Timo Games, I think he is coming up to the line. Timo only goes P17. Tyler V finds himself P12. There's a Ferrari in the background that's decided to pull off on his lap. Toast coming up to the line. Toast finds a 10th and a half and goes up to P5. So very good there. DeVito comes into the pits. He's not happy with his lap. Cammy's just crossing the line to start his lap now. I think it's Frederick Winther that will be coming across the line next, but he's not on a lap. But MS Matthias he's a 10th and a half up based off of his middle sector. But as it stands, it still won't be enough to beat YS Brand's provisional pole of a 27.8. Coming up to the line, let's see what he can do. He doesn't find the time, only 800, looking like he lost some time in the final sector, as Diamond is actually in front of him still by just about exactly 0.135 at the moment, ahead of Matthias for FGE. I think we've got Drastic Blaze coming up to the line. He can only go P8. Still, he finds half second, but still only pulls him from P12, I believe. I think it was P14, I believe. And now only pulls him up to P8. So, not looking too great for the FGE man. Definitely looking like it's going to be a rough qualifying for them here tonight. Sarpoli starting his lap. I think we got Rising Moon crossing the line. He only finds 300ths on his lap time. So not a lot. Timo Games is coming around. He's going for another lap. He's going for double runs on those tyres, which is a risky strategy, but could be a good one. We've got an Alpha Tauri coming around. That's Cammy. Can he improve on his lap? That's what he'll be looking for. He does improve by 4/10, but still 100th off of David Shiki, and still finds himself down in P17. Some drivers actually having a really rough qualifying. Timo has already invalidated on his lap. We're looking to any Aston Martins going quick. Nobody is actually on a lap, I do believe, and so everybody's taking it slowly, except Sarpoli, who is currently down by 600ths off of his first sector. Miguel has ultimately validated. Rising Moon is going slow on his lap. So yeah, I believe it is just Sarpoli who is left in this session to be doing this. So we'll have to see how he can do and what might happen here. Let's see what he can do. Coming around the final corner. He's invalidated, and that's validated. Oh. I haven't got a lot of words for that, to be honest. I'm just a bit shocked. The fact that he validated on the final corner as well. I think Rising Moon, no, he's not on a lap. Timo's had a spin out of the final corner. Still not enough. Cammy is on a lap, I do believe, but he's going too slowly to finish a lap. So I think he'll be coming into the pits too. So yeah, I think Cammy's on his way into the pits. And that is everybody heading into the pits with 3 minutes 45 seconds to go of this session, which is ticking down slowly. Everybody is in the pits. Nobody out on track, which is the first time in this session there has actually been nobody out on track, except I do see KSN. On that, or yep, it is. KSN is on an outlap, which means we only got about 30 seconds apiece before we saw another car out on track. But KSN is the first one to be out on track. We've got Ferrari, which is an AMS, coming out. We've got 3 cars now coming out of the pits, which is going to be pretty interesting. Definitely going to be interesting there. I'm just looking at how this is going, and now coming round left-hander. Ooh, almost spinning it on his outlap. KSN taking the very, very risky strategy he had there. Always risky around this track to try and do that. To be honest, it's always incredibly risky to try and do that. Very interesting at the moment. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please do think about subscribing and leaving a like. Definitely support. I believe we're on 28 or 29 subscribers, so let's try and make it 30 today. That would absolutely be brilliant. Here comes KSN coming up to the line. He's starting his lap. Opens the rear wing. A little bit late, but he opens the rear wing still. Let's ride on board with him on his lap here. Heading down into turn 1. Prioritizing exit, but he almost loses the car while he's at it. I think is he still going? I would have pulled off at this point. Yeah, he has pulled off now. A little bit of disappointment. I think HS More's the next one. We're going to watch HS More. Let's see if he can do it. He's only got a 30.2 to his name at the moment, so he does need to find another couple of tenths. I mean, if he finds a second, that will still only climb up into P16, just above his teammate. So he needs to find a lot of time, which is going to be very important to HS Moore here. Coming round so far, looking decent on his lap. He's not looking terrible. Coming into the right-hander, you can see a massive queue of drivers towards the end of the lap. Little bit scary to see that many drivers. You can see a Ferrari making the moves through the field. He's not waiting for anyone, which of course is going to cause a bit more of a bigger queue now. But heading down towards the left-hander, getting closer towards the end of his lap, towards the end of sector 2 now. HS Moore, this will be his final run of the session, his final attempt. He's found 8 tenths of a second, which will put him. At the moment, it will put him just ahead of his teammate David Sheeky. He just needs to find a bit more lap time. just a little bit more lap time, and he will be good in this session. And let's see what he can do up to the line. Of course, it's mostly just a straight for Sector 3. He pulls in a 1 minute 29.1. He does finish ahead of his teammate. KSN finishes P20. We've got a Ferrari, which is on its final lap, and that is YS Brand. He's found a 10th after the middle sector. Let's see, can he hold it together into the final corner? He has to keep it very nice and very tight. He does. He goes safe. He's not wanting to take any risks on the curbs. Up to the line. He's going to find a 10th and a half. A 1 minute 27.671 is the lap time to beat. We have Drastic Blaze up to the line next. He can only go P6 on the grid. Rising Moon could only go P7. His teammate Toast goes P4. Let's see, can Matthias beat that lap time? No e-cards! He's so close yet so far. It's P2 for the former AMS driver, and only P2 it will be. We've got Knights coming round next, and let's see what he can do. We can just see Sarpali go up into the top 5. He can't improve. Let's see what Mabo goes P7 now. Diamond up to the line. He's going to stay P3 on the grid, and Ikui, I'm going to call you Ikui, I'm sorry. Ikui goes up into P4 in this session, and there is only one driver left to cross the line, and that is AOS Cami, but he's pulling into the pits, so, ooh, what a session it was. What an amazing session it truly, truly was. And I'm going to have a look through in a minute. Truly, just a crazy session there. Absolutely amazing. That is the end of the session, as we're just waiting for Cami to retire. Yeah, so AMS, YS Brand is on pole position. AMS pole position, I believe it's the first time since Japan, so it's been a long while since we've seen AMS on pole. But there we go. The Ferrari man does find it in his position. So very, very good from him. Very interesting to see. So let's do a little rundown of the grid. AMS YS Brand gets a pole position for the team of AMS. It's beautiful, and seeing a Ferrari car on pole. Although, yes, he's got AMS in his name. No, it's actually an FDE driver. Matthias, he comes in second place. Diamond third. Ikui in 4th, Sarpali in 5th, Toast in 6th, Knights in 7th, Mabo 8th, DeVito 9th, and Drastic Blaze a disappointing 10th. Rising Moon is 11th with Miguel 12th, Frederick Winther 13th, Rev Rob 14th, Tyler V 15th, Timo 16th, HS Moore 17th, David Shiki 18th, and the AOS duo of Cami and KSN both in 19th and 20th place. Pretty shocking, I might say. Pretty shocking there. To be honest, a very shocking thing to happen. So we will have 3 minutes to ready up. The drivers will have 3 minutes until 33 past. So that's going to be something quite interesting to see. While we're waiting, please do. I'm going to stick on the trailer for you guys to watch. So enjoy, and we'll be back in a minute.
Andres picks up a penalty. Here comes Leo. Trying to get past. Andres right now has nowhere to go other than the wheel tracks. Now he has an opportunity. Now he gets past.
Takumi wins!
Schumacher to the front of the field.
Oh, turn now, and we'll be getting into the action very shortly. I believe we'll be getting going in the next minute or so, so let's get you onto there. Right this minute. So yes, we're getting on right now, and here we are. Into the session. Strategy, probably hards to mediums or mediums to hards. That is the choice the drivers have. But of course, with YS Brand starting on pole and his teammate down in P4, P5, this might make it a little bit difficult for AMS to have a really, really good race. At the moment, of course, a couple of drivers. I mean, Matthias, of course, splitting. A couple of drivers, of course, he's P2. He wants to get a good finish for FG. Their best last race, they got P2, and we're outside of the points. Sadly, I believe it was P2 and P12. They finished in the end in Spain, and that was with Drastic Blaze finishing P12 as well. So it was a rather rough weekend for the FG man, scoring no points. This week, of course, it's going to be an important one. Takubi is not racing this week, and so for Drastic Blaze, it's going to be important because he really wants to take the lead of the championship. He really wants to take the Drivers' Championship. But with only 2 races to go, and there being, I believe it's a 27-point gap, he needs to win tonight to have a really good chance at taking the championship next week. Sorry, not next week, but in 2 weeks' time, when we go to the Netherlands, which will be, I think, incredibly interesting. We'll be getting going very, very shortly. Let's see what's going to happen. Anything and everything could happen in the next minute or so. The race start will be getting underway, and we are getting going. So we are readying up now. We are all ready to go. Here we go. Round 12 out of 13. 2 races left. This is Bahrain in Sakhir. It's going to be incredibly interesting. We come to the Bahrain International Circuit for the first time in this league, and ultimately will be the last time this season. Now it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Fire lights. And here we go for round 12 in FRLT. They're not moving. Now they're moving away from the grid. YS Brand gets a decent start. He's trying to cover off Matthias. Going down into turn 1. It looks like it's almost 3 wide. As they head down, is he going to get attacked by the FG driver? Yes, he is. There's some contact further back. Mabo makes some contact with the driver in front. I believe that was the Aston Martin. Now, Ikui up into P4. There's some incidents back in turn 1. Rev Rob down to last. Mabo also having a spin out of turn 2. Now, heading down into turn 4. We've got side-by-side action. Almost 3 wide going on there between a McLaren Ferrari. Oh, with the Ferrari and the McLaren are in the wall. Sarpoli is out. Sarpoli is out of this race. It's a yellow flag at sector 1. That also means Diamond's down a couple of places. What a crazy start it's been so far for AMS. It's another bad start for them. Another driver out off of lap 1. And this is absolutely crazy. But it's so far been a pretty decent start for the man ultimately in the lead. YS Brand still holding on to his lead ahead of everyone else. And this is going to be something incredibly interesting. Let's have a look at the tyres very quickly. A lot of drivers going for hard tyres. A couple of others. We've got 4 drivers on the mediums and 1 driver on the softs. And we've already lost 1 driver in this race, which is quite sad to see right off for the start. But now, you can see this is how it's going to go. Mediums to hards or hards to mediums, which is quite odd that they want you to do 2 stops on the mediums. So don't mind that. You can do a 1-stop strategy. But now, it is all up to the drivers to keep it clean. Don't make a mistake. And this is something that could start to become a problem later on here tonight. Following down the pit straight, YS Brand sets the fastest lap. But now you can see with the slipstream on this year's game, slipstream is quite powerful. But Matthias is going to let off and not trying to make a move just yet. We look further back. Rising Moon is making a move on Miguel, and he will make the move on Miguel. And ultimately, he might find himself. Oh, he's a little bit of contact here and there between the 2 drivers. Miguel's still staying just in front. There's some battling in turn 1. I believe KSN's just gone off track. Oh, very close. And another Williams almost making contact. A bit of a problem there. Almost a very big problem. So a lot of things going on here tonight. You can see a Haas going off in the distance. That was HS Moore. He's trying to defend his position. I'm not sure whether it's me or are people just ghosting through each other. I'm not sure. Wouldn't be great if they are, because I don't think they are. Because what's weird is that they made contact in on lap 1, so I'm a little bit confused with what's going on then. So I'm actually going to double check the settings right now, because that's odd. That should not be happening at all. It should be off. It will be in simulation settings. Collisions are on. Collisions are on. So I'm a little bit confused why some people are ghosting through each other, but I guess we'll have to figure that out as we go along. See now, a couple of moves further back with the 3 drivers at the back of the grid, but we're not going to be looking at that for the moment. We're looking at this battle for the lead, because at the moment, you can see Matthias chasing down YS Brand, a previous teammate, no longer. One's in a Ferrari, one's in an Aston Martin, but it looks like it will be another tough weekend for AMS. And there's a car off. That's David Sheeky. He's moved down the order. He's down to P18. Looks like he's had a spin out of turn 3 or through turn 2, so it's been a bit of a rough one there. Rev Rob having a bit of a battle with a couple of drivers. He's battling with Diamond and Mabo at the moment, almost making contact. He almost loses the car too at the same time. That is an ugly camera angle, by the way. I do apologise. It is terrible. It is probably the worst camera angle you could possibly have for this. Of course, very disappointing to see the race start. See already one driver DNF, especially after the last race. We made it so far without it. Yes, I do apologise. There is no game sound for the moment. I very much do apologise. It is a problem on my end. I'm not sure why. It was working last week, not working this week, and everything's the same. So I'm really confused why it's not working. I literally spent about the last 40, like before the stream, I spent about 40 minutes trying to fix it, and it was not working still, which I do apologise for. It's just so many technical problems lately. Trying to fix them all. But now, coming round into the right-hander, into turn 1, through turn 2, and now through turn 3. DRS is enabled, remember, and now this should allow overtaking to be a lot easier for Matthias. So here he comes, he's catching up quite a lot. And now, Weissbrand will really be under attack from other drivers. He makes a little bit of a wide entry to turn 4, but now coming through, you can see all the cars snaking through the corners. As now there's a car that's gone off. That's Miguel. He's gone off a bit. He's fighting for P12 at the moment with Frederick Winther for AERO. These two battling very heavily, and down the inside goes Miguel. He's gonna try and hold the corner. He's almost. Oh, and there's contact. There's contact. Miguel is round, and now he's down to P13. Winther is ultimately making contact with the Alpine driver, but now he's got ARS Cami to try and fight off now for this race, because ARS Cami does have DRS and is incredibly close. We're going to ride on board with him. Is he going to send it into the left-hander? No, he isn't. He's just a little bit too far back for the Avatari man's liking at the moment. There's a bit of a slide there from the Alfa Romeo again, so things aren't looking too great for AERO this weekend, currently P11 and P19. But you could see Matthias all over the back of that Ferrari of YS Brand. He wants to make the move now. Is he going to make it? Let's ride on board with the Aston Martin coming down the pit straight. DRS open. Here he comes, coming towards turn 1. Is he going to hold off? Is he holding off? Yes, I believe he is. But this does mean he could be under threat from behind from the Red Bull of Ikui. And so this could be a bit of a problem for Matthias, is that he's got to be careful of what's in front of him and what's behind him, so he can't make the move too early, but he will have to make the move at some point, because we're now 5 laps into the 29-lap race, and things aren't going perfectly. You can see some battling further back. Rev Rob trying to make his way past. Now with DRS open, that's going to see a double overtake. Rev Rob and Mabo to P13 and P14 respectively, but there's almost going to be contact between Rev Rob and Mabo's round, contact with Diamond, and now Mabo. This weekend's going badly for these guys, and now Mabo has broken his front wing, disappointingly, and now he's down to P17 out of 19 drivers. It's looking pretty disappointing for SRA. It's almost coming back to how they've been for the rest of the season. Spain was good for them, but sadly the luck might have just run out already after just one amazing race. Maybe they are a one-hit wonder, maybe they're not. We will have to see in the future. heading down now the pit, heading down the second straight. Sorry, the fourth straight on this track. I can't believe how many straights there are. Onto the pit straight, and to cross the line for lap 6 out of 29 as we begin this lap. Opening the rear wing again, Matthias closing, and closing. He's closing in, but there's also the Red Bull to worry about because there is Ikui. He's very close. He's all over the back of that car. Everything could be make or break here for these three. As you can see, Matthias, maybe his tyres getting a little bit overheated from being behind the Ferrari for so long. That does happen, and that is something he's got to be worried about. And honestly, this isn't looking too great for him. It's maybe all just falling apart just a little bit too quickly and a little bit too much for FGE. But things might start to repair themselves, especially with one AMS driver out, and they still have both of their drivers. So, now, on lap 6 out of 29, this race is going very quickly because the Mabo is currently in the pits. 3 drivers, very far off the pack, 26 seconds off the pack actually, and there's a car off. There is actually a car off, and that is David Shiki. He's gone off track. He's down to P16. I believe he might have had another crash again. So things aren't looking good for DLF P1 with his teammate. His teammate's P9, but only 2 points scored compared to their best finish of being on, I believe it was the podium in Las Vegas. They're having a very rough race here. They came out as top point scorers all the way back in round 2. Now, they've barely scored points since. And plus with their 15-point deduction earlier on in the season, it's ultimately very much hurt them. But you can see how much Ikui is gaining because Matthias doesn't want to make the move just yet. But it's all just coming down to pressure and strategy here. But you can see there's a lot of ERS saved for the man of Ikui. Now coming through turn 4, KSN has got a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting. First driver this race to get a penalty. So it's quite interesting to see that it did take till lap 7 before driver received a penalty. So quite interesting to see. But the man that I'm interested to watch is actually YS Brand, who at the moment has actually been putting in not too bad of a race because he's currently, of course, leading the race. He's P1. Timo has just taken fast lap, but he's leading the race. He's led every lap of the race so far. So at the moment, he's going to... I'm pretty sure he's going to be the one to lead off of 7 laps of this race. So I suspect he'll easily make it past 10 laps. He's had a bit of a wobble. But he's easily going to make it past 10 laps in today's race that he would have made it through. So at least he would have led about a third of it. But you can see he's just gone a little bit off track. Is he going to try and slow down to let the Aston Martin by? We're going to get a whole waiting queue of drivers trying to make their way past. But you can see it's backed everybody up, and now they're all even closer together. And actually, this hasn't worked out well for Matthias because he's now under attack from the Red Bull. But here he goes, too wide towards turn 1. Matthias takes the lead of the race. Ikui also takes P2. Is it going to be down 2 positions for YS Brand? It might. It might. Will it? Will it? Will it? Ooh, very close bit of contact there between the two. And it is now Ikui and AMS Matthias are both up in P1 and P2. Aston Martin and Red Bull 1-2. And with the Ferrari in 3rd. But Ikui has let back past YS Brand. So I'm a bit confused why he's maybe done that. Not very sure. But you can see a couple of cars. Knight's really wanting to try and make his move on Toast. But it's just not working out so far in today's race. He definitely needs to do a little bit more. Yeah, there's just a lot to work on, a lot to do. Very much unsure of how this race will go. But yeah, like I said, Knight's one of the drivers who's looking feisty, but he is struggling for ERS compared to all of the drivers, except Toast. Him and Toast and Knight both struggling for ERS. Is Ikui struggling? No, he's not. Is Matthias? He is a little bit. So is YS Brand. But you can see Matthias opening, stretching his legs a little bit now, isn't he? He's really stretching his legs, really getting going. But you can see all of this top 7 all within a second of each other, going all the way down. So we've got a good top 7 battle. And to be honest, anybody makes a mistake, they will definitely drop down the order quite heavily. And now Weisbrand chasing after Matthias, heading down the pit straight. Look at that, 3 tenths, 4 tenths taken out of the Aston Martin. Just really shows how quick and how effective DRS is around this track. You see opening the DRS again. It's so powerful. On this second straight though, you only gain about maybe a tenth and a half. So it's not very strong on the second straight. Doesn't really gain you enough. You already gain about half a tenth just with slipstream alone. And so it doesn't really help, only by about a tenth of a second. But I guess you are still accelerating quite heavily towards the end of the straight still. You don't even reach 300 kilometers an hour by the end. So it does take a little while. Heading down into the hairpin, you can just see how on the rails these cars really are. And now, oh, bit of a slide for the AMS man. Heading down faster and faster. He's not opening his rear wing. He's just waiting. Drastic Blaze has now made the move on DeVito for P6 in this race. I guess they are dropping a little bit behind, 6 tenths behind P5. But it's seeming like that all the way up now. The gaps are starting to open between P2 and P3, 7 tenths being the dividing factor at the moment. We can see a driver's gone into the pits, and there's a safety car. Safety car. Mabo, he's just hit the wall. Mabo's hit the wall, and ultimately now there is a safety car. This is going to change absolutely everything in this race. Who's coming in? Yes, the race leader will come in. Who is staying out? Everybody's coming in. Oh, almost contact between the top two. Might have been a little bit of contact. We're going to see Rising Moon's going to come in. He might get held up by his teammate, though. We're going to see who's going to come out in the lead, but we can see everybody coming into the pits. This is absolutely crazy. Drastic Blaze is dropping down quite a few positions. He's down to P7. Where is he going to come out? Where is he going to come out? He will come out in P7. He's back behind DeVito. Akui back into P3. Everything seems to be the same except dropping down for Drastic Blaze. Rising Moon is staying there. Tyler V's gained a little bit. Rev Rob as well. So a couple of drivers finding a little bit of the extra they needed. But now everybody's stuck behind the safety car and waiting for things to kick off. So am I. I'm waiting for things to kick off. So we might have to wait a lap or two before everybody catches up. Because of course this is the way that racing really likes to work. So, let's see what we can do. By the way, thank you to Kubi. I did not see that until now. I was just reading that. I see you. Okay, that was just me being. That was me being me. Yeah. So I do apologize. I see you. I do apologize. You think that's his name? I'm hoping that's his name, because if it isn't, I'm so dead. I'm generally so utterly dead. Well, it's been a long one, very long one today, and we're on lap 10 out of 29 of this race, and we'll be getting going hopefully in the next lap or two. We've still got 4 drivers yet to catch up to the safety car. So far we've still got a couple of drivers waiting more and more to catch up. Oh, almost contact between these two in the lead, with the safety car slowing down very heavily through the right-hander, so we'll have to see what does go on there. Just let me know also in the stream. Please let me know whether the stream quality is good or not. Because I'm very much not sure whether it's just my internet. So please do just let me know. Let me know, please do. Because if you don't, I'm not sure whether it's just my internet or it is just generally the stream is the quality it is. So it'd be great if you guys could tell me. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream, because it's been quite exciting so far. Please do let me know if you guys are enjoying it. Please leave a like and subscribe as well. As we're getting closer and closer, and we have just hit 30 subscribers, so I'm not too disappointed with that. But ultimately, I do have to say, please do let me know how the stream does look and feel and everything it does do. Because I know how I know how these streams like to be. They like to be really terrible and horrible for me. They really do. The quality has not been on my side very much lately. I do apologize. I'm sorry, Raptor. I'm sorry. I think I've said this already. The game sound is not working for me at the moment. So, it was working last week. So on last week's stream, it was working. This week, I loaded up the game 40 minutes before, make sure everything's working, and it was not working. Which of course was very, very disappointing. That of course it wasn't working, because it should have, because it was working on Monday. It was working over the weekend as well, so I'm just very confused. I've actually recorded some things over the weekend, and it was on the same setup, and it was working then. So I'm very confused why it's not working now. So yeah, very, very confusing. Confusing times, shall we say. We're going to have another lap of safety car, another one. Yes, we've got another lap. On to lap 12 with the safety car. Safety car's going on for quite a while today, which of course isn't great, because the safety car's really long. Here we go. We're just waiting for these cars to go through first or second sector. While the cars are doing that, let's head over to here and let's have a little look at the standings. FG are champions of Season 1. AMS and AV are still fighting over P2, with AERO also in for the chance of P2 in the standings. It's all going to come down to that. There's also a battle over 5th in the constructors, with ART, XPG and STR all still fighting for that chance in the standings. Takumi not here tonight, our championship leader, but Drastic Blaze is. But he's having a bit of a rough week so far. So everything's not going great for him. And everybody's overtaking the safety car. Weirdly. I'm confused. What? I'm not sure where or what the safety car's up to, but it's just stopped. The safety car has stopped on track, guys. This is bad. The safety car has stopped on track. I think we're going. I don't know if we're going. We might be going. Are we? I'm a little bit worried now. We might. So yes, at the moment we're waiting for this lap to go by, and they have caught back up to the safety car. So I'm not sure why it stopped on the side of the circuit to begin with. Again, Discord keeps on opening. I do apologize. I just keep on hearing through my headphones. And okay, yep. We're having a restart. We are having a restart. We are having a lobby restart. Yeah, so we're having a lobby restart here. Sadly, here tonight we are having the lobby restart, and so we will take a couple of minutes. I'm not sure what everybody's up to. I just said lobby restart, and yeah, so it will be a lobby restart. This should be getting through. I'm not sure why they're still racing. Very confused, I do apologise. And one's in the wall. Just... yeah, I'm not sure why some people are still racing. Half the grid is retiring from the race. So yeah, so people should be retiring from the race straight away. Sadly, they're not doing that, which is a little bit annoying. So yeah, so at the moment we're just trying to sort things. Drivers should be retiring, in which they are not. Really frustrating that none of them... that we've still got like 8 drivers who haven't retired and haven't seemed to have gotten the message to retire. Hopefully they'll start retiring a little bit quicker, because the quicker we get this done, the quicker this will work. So we've seen a little bit of carnage. We'll wait a minute to get them going. So yeah, just give me a minute. Just waiting for them to disqualify. We've still got 4 who are still... 3. We're down to 3. We're getting there. Just retire. Why aren't these...
Humans, what have you learned?
So yeah, so at the moment a couple of people aren't retiring from the session. It's really frustrating
To beat you.
because they're not retiring. So yeah, so don't mind my silence at the moment. We're just trying to... So we will only be doing a 25% race. So yes, we'll only be doing a 25% race for this now. So yes, the race will be shortened just 18 laps because that will come out as the same amount of laps. So it will be slightly changed. So at the moment, yeah, we're getting everything sorted. We'll just be a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna send you over to our pre-race, and I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Bye.
Humans, what have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. Mistakes. I was programmed to beat you. Humans, what have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. The same mistakes. I was programmed to beat you. Humans, what have you learned?
Okay, we do finally return. I do apologize for the last about like 5 minutes of chaos and silence as well. At the same time, I understand that it has not been the greatest of all things today. Of course, it's been a little bit of a difficult race too. To be fair, I do give it to you guys. It has been a little bit difficult and a little bit long, and I'm feeling tired because I am tired. But we're going to get going very, very, very shortly. And we are actually going right now, as you can see on screen. We're getting going. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. It is just a 25% race now, so it is only half the race distance. We reached lap 12 without it, so we'll be having a 14-lap race, which essentially means we'll be going up to about 26, 27 laps of racing ultimately, which is slightly short because it's, I believe, 28, 29 laps. So we will be slightly short, but it was just a kind of decision that I decided to make. We don't do unless it's under. If it's under 5 laps in, we'll do the whole race. If it's under, I think, 8 laps in, we'll restart the whole race. If it's, I think, 8 to 12 laps, it's that. But we just came to the top of that, and so we decided to do 25% race because it is getting on a bit. Not everybody lives in the same country. So for me, I mean, it's already 9:15. Um, so yeah, so essentially, ultimately, I do apologise. It has been a little bit of an up and down, today. It's been quite long today, but we'll be fixing it. We're getting going in the next minute, and so it'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen. Not giving the drivers a lot of time, but it is, like I said, the day is getting on a little bit, and I would like to get this done before the end of 2024, and also before the end of the game cycle. So we're about to go for round 12 out of, ultimately round 12 out of 13. Yes, it is. You're only seeing a 14 lap race, but that is because we've had to have a restart, and we did make it ultimately 12 laps in, by the way, before the glitch actually came in. So it was on lap 12. So officially we made it 11 laps, so we will go to about lap 26, we should. So we'll have 26 laps of racing, not 29, so 3 laps short, but the drivers do understand that this is sadly the way it does go sometimes. Yeah, I know. I do need to get sound. I'm just reading chat. It feels mean, but I do need to go and get sound, and that is something I'm actually trying to fix. My PC's being. And here we go. Sorry for the silence. Here we go. 5 lights. Away we go. Are we going? Now we're going. This game is so mental. Now, away they go, heading towards turn 1. And it's going to be late on the brakes. And look at how many cars are just diving it. You can see, I see you trying to make it round the inside of the corner. And I see you've had to go off track. Looks like he got a bit pushed off there. And he's now dropped down to P5 off the start, but he's sending it. Is he sending it on the inside? No, he isn't. A little bit of lag going on. Not sure why that is going on tonight. We've seen quite a bit of lag, and the cars are acting very funny. Tyler is round. He's down to P19. At the moment, everybody having their little moments everywhere. Diamond, he's having a bit of a bash with these guys further down. Now, only 14 laps of this race are to go. And on the brakes, you can see Timo trying to make his way past. He's not going to be able to make his way past so easily. KSN gets a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting. So, not everything going perfectly for some drivers. And now coming round, Timo fighting with Rising Moon. It's not going to pull off so easily because Rev Rob's also going to come back at him. And he's going to get P12. And around the outside, there goes Rev Rob. He's making his move. He's making his stamp in this league. He's going to try and go around the outside. It's not entirely working, but he is now. We can see he's still side by side, but he's going to make his way up into P11 here tonight. And it's a good restart for him. It's exactly what he would have been looking for this shorter race. But only 14 laps of this race, and we're already on to lap 2. YS Brand's trying to make his move. Is he going to try and go for it? Drastic Blaze is making moves as well. 3 wide into turn 1. They're going 3 wide, and there is almost contact You can see FGE drivers fighting with each other at the moment. And now, coming up through turn 3, coming towards turn 4 with speed. Who's going to go where? You can see Drastic Blaze is on the soft tyres, so he'll be getting the better grip off the start. Oh, big moment for YS Brand. This has opened the chance for Knights to make his way past on Matthias. He has made his way past on Matthias, and that's P3 for XPG at the moment. Another podium on their way this season, so everything's looking a little bit better for them. You can see Toast is trying to make his way past. There's a yellow flag in the middle sector. That's for Frederick Winther. This week is just getting worse and worse for the Alfa Romeos, only P11 and P17 at the moment, so nothing is getting better for them. Looking further up ahead, we've got Matthias trying to make a move on Knight still. You can see, I see he was dropped down a couple of places, but he's going to be trying to get away off of this for the rest of this race because he's still got another 12 laps to go and still a pit stop on top of that, so everything is still in the balance for this man. Oh, what a start that was, and absolutely, I've got no breath left in me at the moment, but I am going with what I've got left, and so, don't mind me, absolutely running out of breath, because I have none left. So, now, it is definitely going to be a couple of crazy moments still to come in this race. Only a couple more, hopefully only a couple more, as Drastic Blaze still leads here tonight. This is exactly what he's been looking for. This is what he needs for the Drivers' Championship because Takubi is 20... I think he is 27 points ahead in the championship. I believe he is 27 points ahead in the championship. So, if Drastic Blaze holds on to 26 points this race, we could be looking at Drastic Blaze being just 1 point behind Takubi for the finale for the Drivers' Championship. And that's going all the way. You can see a bit of battling between Blaze and YS Brand. A little bit of lag. Seems to be a bit of a problem with the servers over the last couple of days. So if you guys are noticing that there's lag in game, I'm not sure why. It's probably either my internet, but game servers for me have been a little bit buggy lately, so I'm not entirely sure. But heading down now the back straight, and there's a yellow flag, virtual safety car. KSN was round. Got a virtual safety car now. We've already had 2 safety cars, well, 1 proper one, but we're going to be having a virtual safety car here. And now the drivers are all going to have to wait for a little bit longer, which we will see go on to lap 4 out of 5, I believe. This virtual safety car should go pretty quickly. The cars will all slow down to, I believe, 30% of the pace that they usually go during this period. So they're going very slowly, 30 or 40%, I believe it is. So they're going to get going again. They'll know when to go. It will say when they could go. Still, and here comes Drastic Blaze. He's going into the pits for an early pit stop for the soft tyres. You can see Knights is also going in. So is his teammate. That might be risky for the XPG duo. We've got a couple of other drivers going in. Rev Rob also going in. Got quite a lot of drivers going in at the moment. So this was very interesting to see that quite a lot of drivers are going in. This completely changes the top 10 as well. Still, the virtual safety car still going on. Interesting. I thought it would have ended by now. It should be ending. And now it is green lights. And away we go. Green flags everywhere. And we are off and going once again. So a free pit, almost like a free pit stop for Matthias. But it does put him far behind and behind quite a few drivers. And at the moment, this might not be the best of strategies for some drivers. You can see YS Brand having a little bit of a moment again. HS Moore trying to make his way past Timo. And he is going to try and make his way past Timo. And he is going to make his way past the Alfa Romeo. And up into P6 he goes for DLF P1, which will be one of their biggest finishes this season. And that will be very interesting to see. We're going to have to see what else is going to happen at the moment, because it's definitely looking very interesting. You can see, here comes Timo. He's going on HS Moore again. And this battling is not going to end. Riding on board with HS Moore. We're going to bring up, actually, the tyres, because now we're going to have a look at the tyres quickly. A lot of drivers on medium tyres, including Drastic Blaze. 3 drivers on soft, one driver is on hard, and that is Mabo. But quite an interesting sort of look at that. Definitely interesting. But YS Brown leads onto lap 5 of this race. He leads once again. We've seen a lot of Ferrari leading today, but we've seen quite a bit of Aston Martin. Nobody else has actually led the race so far, other than Ferrari and Aston Martin in the last couple of races. Nobody else has actually led. And so, Dom says, interesting choice, streaming on YouTube. I'm not sure what you mean by interesting choice, but I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or not, but I don't know. Whether you're making a point, I really don't know. But as I was saying, and you can see more side-by-side action between HS Moore and Timo. As Timo's going to let him go by as KSN retires in the pits. It's an ARS DNF here today. They were known for being consistent and never DNFing, and now they seem to really be struggling with DNFing in the last couple of races, at least with one driver as well. They've had that for the last 3-4 races. Going down into the left-hander now. Still, you can see the hairpin still not really causing a problem for P6, but there's big gaps now. DeVito very much on his own in P5, 3 seconds ahead of P6, but 2.5 seconds behind P4. So the battle is really just going on between I See You, Toast, Matthias, and YS Brand. Really going on just between these 4 out front, which is a lot smaller than the top 7 we had in the main race. And so it's a little bit disappointing, of course. We're not to see as many and bigger gaps, but there's still a battle for a podium or a win here. So anything will make or break a driver. Mabo's had an incident, I believe. He's spun round. Yes, he has at the end of the middle sector. It's a bit of a disappointing one for SRA. P18 and P10, they will be on for a point, but it's not exactly what they want. Bit of fighting further ahead. Rising Moon is going to take 2 places in one go. What a move from Rising Moon down the pit straight. He took his opportunity. I've seen he's been waiting there for a little while to make that move. But is Timo going to make his way past again? He is going to try and make his way past. Is he? Is he still side by side? Yes, Timo's going to make his way past with a bit of ease. But a bit of does, yeah, also hitting into Rising Moon as well. Mabo enters the pits and there's a safety car. I'm getting I won't say a lot, but I'm getting a bit suspicious of him hitting into the wall. I'm not liking that twice. A lot of drivers coming into the pits. Sorry, I was just looking at Mabo. It just looks a little bit... So, it is a safety car. I do want to say that I'm just a little bit... I'm just a little bit confused. This is, I do apologize to you guys, because this is, of course, quite disappointing. Of course, this is quite disappointing that this has happened twice now. I will definitely be looking at this after the race, because it's just a bit odd. Same driver, same pit entry. Definitely be looking at this. Just a little bit disappointing, of course, to have another safety car. the way, I guess it is. Yeah, like I said, that would definitely be investigated with the Alpine. That would definitely be investigated with Mabo specifically. I can say that right now. It's just... I do apologise, I'm just a little bit confused with it, because I'm reading the chat. Definitely. Just a little bit confused. Some people, XPG aren't happy. Diamonds, most specifically, isn't, because they're saying they robbed of a 1-2 in this race because of the safety car. Some people, of course, are not happy because this has ruined their strategy and what they wanted to do. For others, it hasn't. So we won't be restarting, of course, because it is getting on now. We've still got 6 more laps of this race to go before we finish. And we are stuck behind safety car, which means we are taking longer. We're already over 1 minute and 10 seconds into the lap, and we've only made it about halfway through the lap. But we are getting onto the faster bits now, but still. It's just a bit disappointing, of course. I just like seeing what we've seen tonight, because, of course, it's frustrating for all of us, as we had a restart. We're not having another one. We're not having another one, because if I'm being honest, I've got a life outside of this, and to be fair, it is 9:30 at night, and so we've got to give it some. We've got to be realistic. It is 9:30 at night. We should have finished by now, but sadly But we are getting going right this second. Drastic Blaze leads the race on 4-lap old mediums. Knights in second, both of them on 4-lap old tyres, and we're going to be seeing them. Drastic Blaze can go when he wants to. When is he going? I'm going to run on ball with him. When is he going? He's going now. He has gone. He is using overtake. He's gotten away pretty well, actually. A lot of people following in the slipstream. Rising Moon has got a 5-second penalty for severe collision with HS Moore. Some things are going well, some things aren't. And now, heading down into turn 1. Here they go. Through turn 1, we've got a move happening. Matthias trying to make it past YS Brand. These two were very close to qualifying. It's side by side, but ultimately YS Brand's going to come out on top for now. They're heading down towards turn 4. Mikkels had a spin through turn 1. Now into turn 4. YS Brand still comes out in P3, and he's on the fresher tyres than the 2 cars in front of him. He's had a little bit of a wobble on the front. It looked like a lot more, but I know that actually it won't be that much because the game is just glitching and being what it likes to be. Rev Rob's made the move for P13. He's up a position now. This restart looking good for a couple of drivers. The restart not looking so good for some others. Knights is trying to make a move on Drastic Blaze for the lead. You could see everybody almost hitting into each other completely. We've got a side-by-side action. I see you and Timo going side-by-side, heading down towards the next corner. Let's see who's going to come out on top here. We know ICU has shown a lot of pace on those soft and medium, especially he showed a lot of pace on the hard tyres. He's struggling a little bit more on the softs, as now he drops behind Timo for P7. He's almost going to drop behind the Williams as well for P8. And there's a dive bomb from DeVito for P7 in this race. ICU's now got a 3-second time penalty, and this is going to hurt his race result quite a bit because it's going to push him outside of the top 10 as it stands. But still with a couple of laps to go, they're still battling side by side. Oh, contact, more contact. It's going more and more at the moment between these two. Now all following down the straight. Here comes YS Brand to the outside of Knight, heading towards turn 1. He's going to try and slide it down the middle of both cars. Here comes YS Brand. He's going to take the lead here in Bahrain for a millisecond round the outside of Drastic Blaze. YS Brand leads once again. He was on pole. He's led many laps now, the most laps out of any driver. And now he's back in the lead to lead the last couple of laps on fresh soft tyres. And there he goes. He's heading off now into the distance away from Drastic Blaze. And we also saw Miguel retire from the session. Mabo's also had a bit of an incident further back. We're going to look to Mabo, actually. He's in the wall. He's stopped on track. He's stopped on track. I'm watching that Alpine. I'm not trying to be mean, but I am watching that Alpine. And I'm the very worried idea that he's going to stop on track. And that's worrying. AMS YS brand, once again, heading round. We've got some battling further back. Diamond trying to make his move on ARS Cami. He's up a position. Rev Rob up to P11 as we see. Rising Moon's actually gone off. He's had a spin. Quite a few spins. Drivers struggling for grip here, but Rev Rob on the edge of the top 10 now, as Matthias has now made the move for P3 in this race. And now that is an FG 2 and 3. And so a very strong double podium for FG at the moment, but you can actually see ahead. You can see Drastic Blaze really struggling for his tyre, for his ERS, because he's already below 10%. He's at 0 already. You can see Weissbrand pretty much close to that as well. You can see, is there going to be any moves further back? Toast is making his move on Knights around the outside. He's still going for it. DRS open. We're almost going 3 wide. He's actually going to get overtaken by 2 drivers, Toast and Timo. And into turn 4, there's going to be a bit of contact between these two. But now, Timo and Toast are both up into P4 and P5. Knights down to P6 now. DeVito all the way behind. Diamond's got a 3-second time penalty added to his race. Diamond has retired from the session. He's out of the race. He's dropped down to P16. He's going to be rather disappointed with that result. XPG not getting away with it too well this week. And now you can see Frederick Winther up into P8 ahead of ICU, who's absolutely having a terrible one, and he's crashed into the wall. What is going on? Oh my god, I'm seeing so many incidents here tonight. I do not know what to say about tonight's race. That he just drove straight on into a wall. Very, very, very odd. An odd race, an odd evening. I have no clue what to say about today at all. Yeah. But now, YS Brand leads on to lap 12, the last and final 3 laps remaining here in Bahrain. We're coming down to the last couple of laps of the season too. DeVito's made his move, and Toast now makes his move for P3. And there he goes, up to P3. ART, they're looking at a back-to-back podium for this season. They scored a podium all the way back in round 1. That was the last time they had a podium. They then got a podium in Spain in the last race. And now, once again, they're going to be achieving a podium in Bahrain if they can hold on to P3 here, which I have to say will be very nice to see them getting back-to-back podiums. They've had an up-and-down season, but this will almost completely confirm for them holding on to P5 in the Constructors. So this is going to be very important if they can get this podium sealed and done, because XPG currently only P7, and, I mean, STR P6 and P11. So at the moment, if they do this, I would say pretty much P5 is sealed in the Constructors' Championship. Matisse catching up now, 8.5 tenths behind the race leader, but he is struggling a bit through some of these more open corners, still sitting 8.5 tenths behind. He definitely has a bit more straight line speed, but he is struggling for ERS, why do I say AMS? ERS, just the same as YS Brand though, so both of them very similar, except Matisse is now out of ERS, and you can see Timo's made his move on Drastic Blaze for P4. This race is really falling apart for these guys. It's really falling apart for Drastic Blaze. He really wants to catch up. He was leading the race earlier on. Now he's down in P5, only scoring 10 points, only getting 10 points close to his championship rival, still 17 points behind. Frederick Winther has gone and past Knights, and he's up into P7, so AERO on for a very strong weekend. They're on for 18 points this race, so something's looking quite strong for them, maybe to catch up to ABE, who's again having a really rough weekend, only scoring 2 points. It's all falling away for ABE a bit. Maybe a bit of road rage going on with them. 2 laps remaining of this race, and that is coming down very quickly because it is between YS Brand and Matthias. You see 2 AMS names there, but one's actually an AMS driver and one has recently moved to FGE, and that's why he's in the Aston Martin. They're both chasing each other down. Of course, former teammates, this is all going to matter. It's going to be closer than ever. And it'll be great if YS Brand can prove over Matthias that this is the place where you want to be in that Ferrari. And so far, Weissbrand is fighting his hardest to make his way around and to still win this race and ultimately take another win for AMS and their third win of the season, coming in late, really coming in clutch for AMS this season, really late on. I mean, they went, 8 races without winning, and now they've won 3 races in 4. 3 races in 4 they've won, which is incredible. I do have to say, it is actually very incredible to see them win 3 races out of 4. So 75% success rate since the start of the season as we now head on to the final lap of the race. I have to say, this season, the end of the season, is looking it's been a little bit cruel for FGE. They still are yet to win in the last couple of races, so they're just waiting for that. Of course, they're just waiting for that victory to come back their way. And now you can see a move happening further back. DeVito making his way past Drastic Blaze around the outside. He makes the move very easy. So Drastic Blaze now down to P6. He's going to lose another 2 points for closing in on Takubi, which is just, it's falling apart slowly. But Weissbrand, all he needs to do is continue to lead for the rest of that. Massive slide there. Both of them very low on ERS. It's only Matthias who has DRS here. So it's all going to come down to these final couple of corners. He's got 1, 2. He's actually got about 4 or 5 corners left to go in this race before he can win and cross the line to take home another victory, and the 3rd victory for AMS this season, which will at least put them as the 2nd highest winning team so far in FRLT. We'll see what they can do. Coming round, they finished off Sector 2. There's only this final sector to go and only 2 corners left. Heading down this long 4th and final straight. It is all coming down to the end here. You can see some weaving by the Mercedes behind. Now Weissbrand comes round the final corner. It will be AMS back on the top step for the 3rd time here in FRLT Season 1. Weissbrand wins with Matisse in 2nd, Toast in 3rd, Timo 4th, DeVito in 5th, Drastic Blaze in 6th, Frederick Winther in 7th, FRC Knights is 8th, with RevRob 9th and more finishes 10th, scoring a point for DLRFP 1. We might have had a couple of retirees today, we might have had 5, but it is sometimes the way it goes. But so far, a very good race from quite a few drivers. I've just seen something in chat, very interesting driving standards, and I do agree, it was very interesting driving standards, something that I will definitely be looking at, shall we say. Definitely going to be looking at that in the next couple of days, shall we say. I'll definitely be looking at these things. To be honest, I'm not trying to be mean at all, but they're definitely interesting driving standards. I think many people will agree. Definitely these will be looked at in incidents, and even just if they're not reported as incidents, these will be looked at just altogether by me because I'm slightly worried. But ultimately, good race from quite a few drivers. Ultimately, AMS returning to the top step of the podium on that Ferrari. We didn't see that for ages this season. Now they've done it 3 times. So AMS Weissbrand takes the victory here. He's not had the best luck in FRLT. Now he has. Matthias finishes P2. He started on pole, but things just went backwards for him very slightly. But still, he gets enough to take P2 in a podium on his debut for FGE. And Toast achieves the 3rd podium for ART this season, which is very interesting. Timo from P16 to P4, amazing day. DeVito P5, Drastic Blaze not having the best of days and only P6. Frederick Winther finishes 7th, a good day for AERO. All round, I believe they're the highest points, the 2nd highest point scoring constructors this weekend. Knights ultimately finishes 8th, a tough one there. RevRob finishes 9th, with HS Moore finishing out the top 10. Tyler V, Cami, Rising Moon, and Mabo, and all finish out the drivers who did not score points. But the drivers who did not finish is ICU, Diamond, David Shiki, Miguel, and KSN, who all didn't finish, which is of course slightly disappointing. It's always slightly disappointing. It's always slightly disappointing when we get that. We don't always like it. We always like it to be a little bit different, to be honest. But yeah, so a lot to talk about for a while, for the next week or so. But ultimately, I have to say thank you so much for watching. It is the end of the stream, but as stream traditions go, I have to give one driver my driver of the day. Oh, that's gonna be difficult. It is really open between quite a few drivers that I would say could take it on. I'm actually not sure.
What have you
I'm actually gonna say this, I'm not sure. But generally, I'm really open for drivers who had a really good day, but difficult one. Definitely a difficult one. I would put YS Brand up there, probably top 3. Really good fight for him this week. But like I said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely great week. I will see you in 2 weeks. We've got a break week next week, but we will be back the week after with all the action for the finale in the Netherlands. Still some positions to be made, some positions to change. Thank you so much. I hope everybody has enjoyed it. I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Please think about leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, also click on the notification bell so you can know about the last race of the season and any of the other content we also post on this channel. Once again, thank you so much, and I'll see you again. Bye.
Andres picks up a penalty. Here comes Leo. One against one. 3 wide. Andres right now has nowhere to go other than the wheel tracks. Now he has an opportunity. Now he gets past.
Takumi wins!
To the front of the field.
Humans, what have you learned?